The Golden State Warriors season ended in extraordinarily disappointing fashion after a blowout loss to the Sacramento Kings in the playoff tournament. Now fans, media, and analysts seem to be in agreement that the dynasty is officially over, that the Warriors have gone stale, and that major roster changes are needed if they have any intention to contend in the Western Conference next season. Right now, the player taking the brunt of the blame is shooting guard Klay Thompson. Since Thompson's a pending unrestricted free agent, the consensus seems to be that the Warriors need to cut him loose. Or some pundits speculate that Golden State could keep him, albeit at a significantly reduced contract. Well, we're going to be the ones to tell you, and pardon my French, that is a bunch of bullcrap. And we're not saying that Klay should be re-signed to a max contract, but the truth is that the Warriors are still an ultra-competitive team that just needs some minor retooling of their roster to once again contend for an NBA title. Don't believe us? Well, please just hear us out. Yes, it's true that the Warriors played like steaming hot garbage in the play-in game against Sacramento, and Klay Thompson's 0 for 10 performance stands out as possibly the worst stat line that a star player has posted in an elimination game in recent memory. But the Warriors as a whole were just terrible in that particular game against the Kings. For example, Chris Paul, who's getting paid over $30 million this season, put up 3 points and 2 assists. Andrew Wiggins, he went 4 for 11 from the field and turned the ball over 3 times. And NBA poster boy Steph Curry, he put up an uninspiring 22 points along with 2 assists and 6 turnovers. The long and short is that the Warriors, a team with a reputation for playing their best basketball when it matters most, came up flat with all the chips on the line. Yet, sounds like a bunch of reasons why major changes are needed for the organization. We get it, the core is aging. But contrary to popular belief, they are still elite. The Warriors finished the season with a 46-36 record. Decent, but not good enough to win a title. But in order to properly evaluate the team season, it'd be prudent to take a closer look at what happened. The Warriors came out of the gate slow, and Draymond Green got suspended early in the season, and without him, the Warriors floundered. In fact, with Draymond Green absent this season, Golden State went 13-14. However, with their defensive leader in the lineup, the Warriors went 33-22 this season. Additionally, despite having an aging core, the Warriors have a handful of the youngest contributing role players in the entire NBA. Rookies such as Brandon Podziemski and Trace Jackson-Davis earned their way into the Warriors starting lineup and eventually made massive impacts when they played. Same can be said about Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, a couple of 21-year-olds who had the best seasons of their careers thus far. The Warriors' record fell to 19-24 following a double overtime loss to the Lakers in late January. However, from January 30th on, the team went 27-12. The only teams in the entire league with a higher winning percentage from then on were the Celtics, the Thunder, and the Nuggets. And Klay Thompson was a massive reason why. This season, Thompson finished 4th in the entire NBA in three-pointers made and shot them at a .387 accuracy clip. On top of that, he was the most accurate free throw shooter in the league this year. Players that can be trusted to take threes in incredibly high volume and knock them down like Thompson does are extremely rare. When you look at the most successful teams in the league last season, they have top-tier guys in this volume-sharp shooting role. The Nuggets rely on Michael Porter in this capacity, and Miami utilizes Duncan Robinson in a similar way. Yet neither of them shoot at as high a volume as Klay Thompson. And it doesn't need to be said that Thompson's been doing this for a decade. It's true he's not the same player that he was before his brutal Achilles injury that forced him out of action for 2 seasons. Previous to the injury, Thompson used to be a lethal cutter, mid-range shooter, and a top-tier defender. There's no doubt that he's not worth $40 million anymore. But after he returned from injury, the Warriors won the 2021 NBA championship, and Thompson's numbers across the board were pretty darn close to identical during that run as they were throughout this season, despite a slow start and a horrendous performance in the play-in game. But Thompson's shooting prowess at high volumes, as well as his chemistry with both Curry and Green, is paramount to the Warriors' offense, which remains one of the most potent in the entire league. In fact, this season, the Warriors were way better offensively than they were when they won the championship in 2021. Thompson was far from the problem this season, and so were Curry and Draymond Green. Defense was, and Draymond's suspension forced them into a one-game elimination where they just posted a dud. It was totally uncharacteristic of a championship group. But when the Warriors are at their best, both pre-Durant and in 2021, they rank as the best defensive team in the league. This year, they weren't that. And that's not Thompson's fault. The Warriors haven't relied on Klay as a star defender since before his injury, and they still managed to win a title. That season, Iguodala, Gary Payton Jr., Otto Porter, and even Nemanja Bjelica were massive contributors on the defensive end. Now most of those players are gone, and Payton missed the play-in game due to injury and was severely missed. Meanwhile, Andrew Wiggins, who played at an all-star level for 2 straight seasons, declined significantly in almost every facet of the game this season. If the Warriors let Thompson loose and keep Andrew Wiggins on the roster, they're making a massive mistake. Thompson is essential to the Warriors, and everyone on the inside knows it. Do you really think that Steve Kerr, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green are advocating for him because he's their good buddy? It's preposterous. Those guys inside the locker room know how important Klay is to the Warriors. So what should Mike Dunleavy and the Warriors do to improve the team going into next season? Well, first off, they got to re-sign Klay Thompson. Hopefully, they can agree to a 2 to 3 year extension under $30 million per season, but it's possible Klay could get more than that on the open market if he chooses to go that route. Beyond that, they'll release Chris Paul. He was a failed experiment, and ridding themselves of his contract along with Klay's salary reduction will bring the team below the salary cap. Then they should explore the trade market for Andrew Wiggins. His decline this season is a major reason the team underperformed. He's got a big fat contract and has already been passed on the depth chart by Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Pajemski, who will both presumably be even better next season at age 22. Same goes for Trace and Moody, who are only getting better from here. And then, with their cap space, they need to get some role players who can shoot and defend. A healthy Gary Payton will be impactful. But other options, such as Robert Covington, Gary Harris, Royce O'Neal, and Justin Slow-Mo Anderson, all have expiring contracts and would vastly improve the Warriors' currently mediocre defense. With the right execution, all these roster moves could be made while keeping the Warriors below the luxury tax line heading into next season. And we think we'll be the ones saying, "Told you so," when Golden State's locked into a playoff spot at this time next year. But we want to know what you guys think. Can the Warriors turn it around? Or do they need to tear it apart and start from scratch? Let us know what you think they need to do in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports news and insights. Thanks again, and see you next time.